So this was really unexpected, but Sony is throwing their hat in the PC gaming arena with a new product lineup they're calling Inzone. They're launching with 3 headsets and 2 monitors, and as expected, all these products play nice with your PC and with your PS5. We'll be checking out their flagship 4K monitor with full local area dimming very soon, but we're looking at headsets today. These start with the basic model wired headset, the H3 at $99, the mid-range H7 at $229, and today we'll mostly be looking at their flagship wireless with active noise canceling, the H9. This shares a lot of design language with the PS5. It's a mostly plastic design, which doesn't exactly feel really durable in the hand on first impression, but because of that, it's very light, at under 12 ounces or just about 340 grams, and it's really comfortable. There's no pressure anywhere, and it adjusts to accommodate some seriously large heads. Sadly, it's not uncommon for me to wear a gaming headset at or near the absolute maximum adjustment, and that is definitely not the case here. These are big cups with big oval ear pads, plenty of room inside here, even for the biggest ears. The H9 uses faux leather since it's got the noise canceling. The other 2 models use like a hybrid pad with a faux leather interior, but like a spandex on the outside. The faux leather pads on the H9 do start to get pretty warm for me around the hour mark, but the other pads stay cooler for me a lot longer. These do have adjustment notches you can feel, but they're missing any kind of adjustment markings. Each cup has tilt and they swivel a full 90 degrees, so you can wear them on your shoulder. And the headband is so generous that they're not going to choke you out when you wear them like this. Each cup also has an LED ring indicating connection with your PC or your console in white, or Bluetooth in blue, which we'll talk about in just a sec. On the right cup, you've got buttons for power and Bluetooth, as well as 2 volume rockers that control chat mix. This loads up 2 different drivers on your PC, one for chat, which I keep assigned to Discord, and the other for main output, like your game. In most gaming headsets I've tested, that secondary driver isn't really up to the same quality level as the main driver, so you pretty much use it for voice chat only. That's not the case here. Both these drivers sound equally good, so you can use the secondary driver for a music app and then your main audio in-game. That allows you to listen to tracks while you're practicing or aim training or gaming, and then without having to exit the app, you can simply use the volume rocker to adjust the level of your music or your game. It is a cool little quality of life feature. But you also do get Bluetooth here as well, and it works at the same time as the main game audio. So using your phone, you can have Discord open or a phone call or music playing. If you have your phone connected and a call comes in, you can just tap that Bluetooth button to answer and you're good. You can control your Bluetooth mix right on whatever device you're using. The audio mixing on this headset is so good that while you probably wouldn't because it can be really chaotic, you technically can have your secondary and your primary driver playing on your PC and still have that hooked up Bluetooth with all 3 sources playing simultaneously. So the mic here is a flip down boom arm style. Down is live and up is muted. You can hear a little physical click when it goes over the switch. This little arm here is bendable too. It's got pretty limited options in the Inzone hub software. You do get side tone, which allows you to hear your mic back in your headset. Outside of that, no effects, no EQ, just a simple volume slider and like an auto gain control, which basically functions as a compressor to make sure that soft speech is still heard clearly, and if you get really loud, it's not going to clip and blow people's eardrums out. The mic itself is the only real point of disappointment on this headset. It basically sounds like a low-tier gaming headset mic. Doesn't do much for levels or overall volume or vocal clarity or richness, and it doesn't really do a lot in terms of background noise cancellation either. It appears to be the same capsule and tech even on the H3 wired version, which actually winds up sounding better because it has the benefit of being a wired connection and it uses its own USB dongle versus having to be plugged directly into your motherboard. Of the 4 flagships that I have in-house currently, I would put the H9 in 3rd place behind the Arctis Nova Wireless, the Epos H3 Pro, and above the Razer Barracuda Pro, which doesn't use a boom mic. I can't find my Corsair Virtuoso since the move, but even after watching my review back, it's got a pretty strong mic too, so unfortunately this would be the area for Sony to improve on in future revisions. As you could tell in the mic test, this does wear pretty big on the head. That combined with the shared design language from the PS5 and the non-detachable boom mic makes this something that should probably stay in your house. It would be kind of weird to see somebody out walking around with this, as it's very obviously a gaming headset. Worth pointing out too that it controls volume separately of the Windows system volume, which I definitely like. There is a simulated surround mode here. You know I'm not normally big on these for competitive use as it can skew the distance of things in game, but this is great for like an open world game to help that world around you just feel a bit bigger. You can use the standard mode here, or they have a mode where you can customize it by taking pictures of both of your ears, uploading them to a server, and having them analyzed to create a custom spatial effect for you. If that sounds creepy to you too, just know that there's not that much difference between the standard mode and the custom mode, at least for me. So everything we we've talked about so far, build and feature set wise, also holds true for their mid-tier wireless H7. The big factor when you get to the H9 is active noise cancellation. This gets handed down from the same tech used in their 1000 XM series headphones. This seems to be the current wave for audio products right now, as most flagships from most brands incorporate some variant of this. As expected, it works really well. You're able to cycle through on, off, and ambient mode, which mics up the world around you, with the ability to select in the software which modes you'd like to cycle through. So you can, in effect, make this an on ambient toggle if somebody starts talking to you. This does a great job if I'm just trying to focus and block out some outside city noise, or if I'm listening to light volume music while I'm working or taking a call. But if I'm gaming, that volume is up so loud I don't really notice it anyway, and the ear pads on this already do a pretty good job of passive noise reduction. Nonetheless, if you're into this feature or you game in a really noisy environment, it is Sony, and they know active noise canceling very well. I think it's better than the implementation on the Arctis. It lacks levels to adjust the strength of it, but I find the pressure of it just about spot on, where the pressure on the arguably more effective Barracuda Pro is a bit much for me. The sound quality is very good, as you'd expect. There are 3 stock EQ modes in the hub software. Of the 3, I prefer flat. If you've used any of the 1000 XM series, you know there's not much need in boosting the bass, especially for gaming. Of all the flagships, this is the most musical of the bunch. You put this on, listen to a track to check it out, and go, wow, this doesn't sound like a gaming headset. Provided you keep that EQ on flat, you'll have really good separation and detail in the highs, and directional awareness here is very strong. The bassier presets tend to stifle a lot of the higher mids and the highs. It is a more balanced sound, very capable for a lot of different use cases. It's not quite as clinical or technical as the Arctis Nova, but I do like the tuning a bit better than the Epos, and it's a far cry better than the Razer Barracuda. I never had to worry about there not being enough volume on the PC or the PS5. I never had any dropouts or disconnects, and I didn't have any interference from any other wireless peripherals as well. The wireless performance here is flawless. Like the microphone, I'm not sure there's much, if any, of a difference between the actual driver in the H9 and the entry-level H3, which means you're getting a great sounding headset in the H3, and the price is basically scaling as the feature set increases. Battery life is rated at 32 hours on the H9, and that's with no noise canceling. Sony's team says it's closer to around 24, 26 with ANC. I put this thing through the absolute ringer using wireless, Bluetooth, and active noise canceling, plus listening to multiple sources simultaneously, chatting in Discord, and taking calls. At the time of this video, I have about 23 hours across 3 days coming off a full charge, and the software was showing me like a low, medium charge in yellow. I do wish there was a more accurate percentage-based display of this. It does charge over USB-C, so it's easy enough to plug in at the end of the day. It's equally at home on the PS5, of course. There's a little slider on the dongle where you can set it to PS5 mode. PS5 recognizes it as the H9, and it does support the Tempest 3D audio of the console. This was a piece of cake. You just plug it in, it sets everything up for you. In terms of value, $299 is up there. It comes in higher than the Barracuda Pro, which lacks simultaneous Bluetooth and has worst-in-class mic performance at $249. The H3 Pro from Epos at $279, which notably is missing active noise cancellation. Still not as expensive as the Arctis Nova Pro Wireless at $349. We will be taking a deep dive look at this unit very soon. Since the digital noise canceling is really the only standout feature of the H9, I think the real compelling value here is the H7. At $229, you're getting great comfort, great sound, more breathable ear pads, Bluetooth, chat mix, and great wireless performance for a really solid price point, and you're getting the benefit of increased battery life due to the missing ANC. For both the H7 and the H9, the obvious low point there is the mic performance, and for some people maybe the all-plastic build, but for me, I would take the trade-off to get this weight and this comfort. The biggest competition to the H7 would probably be the Arctis Wireless 9, which is currently available at like $199, but that older style Arctis headband is not very forgiving to people with larger than average heads. All in all, this is a very welcome outing from Sony. It does a lot of things right and could potentially really shake up the market. It's also a great compliment to the design language of the PS5 if you're a fan of that look. When you see Sony make a move like this, it just makes you wonder why they haven't done this before, because it makes so much sense. And something else that makes a lot of sense is keeping your mental game sharp and having learning be a lifelong pursuit. And for that, I choose Brilliant. Brilliant's an online learning platform centered around STEM content. It works a lot different than most passive learning because you're not just reading and memorizing. It's all about interactive learning, so it's a lot of actually doing. It really pulls you into the content and helps tie it to relatable, everyday examples. They've been hard at work revamping that interactivity on their courses, and their newest is Everyday Math. It's been a while since I was in a classroom setting, and the ideas around how to visualize numbers like fractions, fraction grids, number lines, etc. have really come a long way, and it helps to reinforce or reshape some of the ideas ideas that I learned a long time ago. Brilliant is also a great way to learn at your own pace. Everything's broken down into short sections so you can learn when you have a few minutes, and if something isn't clicking, they'll actually walk you through a detailed explanation of why. You never feel uncomfortable or pressured or embarrassed because they give you all the information you need without you having to ask for it. They have a seriously impressive catalog too, from beginner to more advanced stuff, and it's free to get started. When you're ready to get started, you can join me and a community of over 11 million learners and educators by going to brilliant.org/badseedtech. And as an added bonus, the first 200 of you to do so can save 20% on their annual premium subscription. Big thanks to Brilliant for continuing to support the channel, and thank you so much for your time. We're going to keep the ball rolling with gaming stuff for a while. Next up, we're going to check out the insane amount of features that Wooting has been able to stuff into their latest gaming keyboard, the Wooting 60HE. That's it for today, and I will catch you all in the next one. Stay up.